Coming up on today's episode, you may hear information about different NFTs or investment opportunities. As always, we remind you we are not financial advisors. This is not financial advice, and some of the information you hear may be inaccurate. Enjoy the show.
Do your own research. Sorry, fuck that bit up. Welcome to the Newly Fresh Topics podcast. We're not quite cutting edge, but we're close. This is episode 06. In this podcast, we talk about mainly NFTs. We talk about some fantasy. We do comedy bits. We do, I forget what we do, Jason. What do we do? What else do we do?
We do lots of stuff. We do quirky news. We do,
yes.
We do fantasy, I think, as you already said. Yeah, just anything that comes to mind. It's turned into lately a little bit of a chat show, almost, as you would call it. It's just kind of back and forth, which is
reviews.
Fun too.
We do reviews of fantasy stuff, I guess. Yeah.
The Witcher, The Expanse, Wheel of Time, Cobra Kai, which I guess is a little fantastic. Yeah, I just watched the latest episode of Book of Boba Fett. We could talk about that. There's so much.
I've been meaning to watch that. It's Disney Plus, though, isn't it? I don't have
Disney Plus. Yeah. Oh, you don't.
Crypto Bingo on Heroes and Villains said it would give me Disney Plus, and right. John Travolta meme.
Well,
where is it, bro? Okay.
Now that you're calling him out so publicly, I'm sure he will.
Well, it's a big ask, really. It's like, I'll send you my credentials, Ross. And I was like,
right.
I don't know, should you do that? Like, I'm flattered that you trust me, but I wouldn't advise it, you know?
I wonder if like Disney would monitor that and go, well, one person is wherever in Britain. Yep. This other person is in a completely different place in Britain, and they're both using it at the same time. So would that race around? Like I share my Disney Plus with a couple people, but they're in my city.
Yeah. That's very wise of you. Very, no one's going to catch you, basically.
Right. Yeah. How will they know? I have that deal with a friend of mine where I pay for a couple streaming services and he pays for a couple, and then we just switch.
Yeah, that is a good deal. My little brother, Ryan, who you've met, obviously, he does Netflix, and I share my Prime Video to the family as well. So
nice.
Chris, my big brother, I think he done Disney Plus, but he stopped paying for it. He's not a team player.
Nah, seriously, cut him out. He's the one. He's the one without a partner too, right?
Yeah.
No partner, no Disney Plus, no wonder.
Commitment.
No wonder.
Commitment.
Right? We'll have to have him on as a guest one day so he can defend himself.
I'm trying to remember when I told you didn't have a partner.
Back, I believe your exact words were, "We've all got partners except for Chris. He's a loser."
Okay, yeah, that sounds like something I'd say.
And it was on the podcast, so I'm not telling secrets.
Yeah, it was a Christmas thing. Yeah, sorry, Chris, love you.
So it's been good overall since we last recorded. It's been a little bit longer than normal since we last recorded, but that's okay. We've actually had nice weather. Again, it wouldn't be a podcast with a Canadian if we didn't talk about the weather for at least a minute or two. So yeah, snow's melted a little bit. It's been above freezing, although it's supposed to plummet to like -20 overnight, and we're supposed to get like half a foot of snow. Jesus. So we'll see.
Well, it's been all right here. Since we last recorded, there was a nice dry. Well, it's been dry for a while. It was a nice sunny spell, but the winds picked up now. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I had to go to my old neighbor's house, who I'm helping to move Tuesday, because I have a big van, so everybody needs stuff when you have a big van,
Right. That helps with all your kidnapping.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, old neighbor's wooden shed just completely blew away in this storm that we had, and we went and picked that up, took it apart and picked it up yesterday. And then today, in preparation for the bigger storm that's coming, supposedly, I was out cutting trees and I actually burnt my fingers really bad on the chainsaw. Like,
Oh,
I hope I don't get blisters. Like, usually you cut yourself with a chainsaw. Not me. I like to burn myself.
yeah,
But
really.
yeah, just because
You're
it
an
gets so
overachiever.
it just gets so hot, and I was trying to fix it, and I put my hand on the fucking metal bit. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I'm able to work and release things. Very important. Release things.
Release things. When
Yeah.
we first met, I didn't realize what a manly man you were. You've got your chainsaws and your house buildings and your vans and your
That's right.
yeah. Just
you don't
and
expect
I've
it
got
from
my pink
cars.
headphones, so we're like the opposite.
I still love you, though, Jason.
Not that men
Beautiful.
can't rock pink. I've known lots of men who look good in pink.
I've known lots of men who wear pink.
Yeah. Oh,
that's as much as I'll say.
Salmon. It's salmon.
Oh, there you go. That's more of a manly thing. Salmon's very manly. They swim upstream. Who the fuck can swim upstream? Eh?
That's right.
That's
yeah.
hard as nails.
It's hard. Yeah. The manliest of fish. If we're going along, old gender stereotypes, then they're the manliest of fish, and comfortable in their manhood because they're wearing all that pink.
Well, that's right. Hey, they're pink on the insides. By the way, just as an aside, because I was editing that video before, I was like, I need to cut out all of the times that Jason's cat comes up to fucking bug him and just make a compilation of that. It'll be hilarious.
Just a compilation of cats. Yeah. It's I've given up. They win. It's their house. I just live here and pay for it.
Yeah, totally. So busy.
Yeah. It's been nice. It's been nice to stay busy. It's been nice to have things to do and nice to rest whenever you get the chance.
Indeed.
Well, did you get an email from OpenSea regarding inactive listings? No. So this was all the rage. And by all the rage, I literally mean rage. It turned into some Twitter rage.
Right.
So OpenSea shared sent an email that basically talked about an exploit. So there had been the way the story goes is when you list things for sale on OpenSea, you have to pay a cancellation fee to cancel them. Like not a cancellation fee, a gas fee. You have to pay a gas fee to take it off the blockchain, right?
Yeah.
Well, some people figured out that if you simply move the NFT from one wallet to another, it would cancel the transaction. So they were doing that to get around having to pay the gas fees.
Right.
And then what they were doing was then moving it back to the original wallet so they could still have it in the wallet they really wanted in. Well, apparently somebody figured out that those transactions actually were not canceled. They were still valid. So if you interacted with the blockchain directly, with OpenSea's contract directly, you could actually take advantage of those old listings that the owner thought had been canceled. So there were a number of users who had like Bay Area yacht clubs, or not Bay Area, Bored Ape Yacht Club. that BAYC always gets me. I always want to say Bay Area. No, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, somebody paid, an ETH for it. Again, it was one of those things where they got it for 1,700 instead of 170,000 or whatever, or instead of 1.7 million. So that's fine. That's an exploit. OpenSea's taken the steps they can take to correct that exploit. But basically, they made it worse. They sent out this email detailing the exploit and telling everybody to cancel their inactive listings. Well, so of course, people did what they were told. So they started canceling all of these inactive listings. But But because people were now aware of the exploit, they decided to take advantage of it. So
Yeah.
this one guy, swolfchan.eth, so he had an active listing for a mutant ape at 15 ETH, decided it was worth more than 15 ETH, so canceled the inactive listing. Well, that triggered the previous inactive listing, which was only 6 ETH, and somebody
Right.
sniped it for 6 ETH.
Jesus.
So, so this email that OpenSea sent out detailing the exploit essentially caused more exploits.
Jesus. That's not good. Fuck.
Oh, but there is a somewhat happy ending. Not happy if you're OpenSea, but at least a little bit happy if you're those users. OpenSea refunds 1.8 million in Ethereum to users who lost NFTs from inactive listing exploit.
Wow.
So yeah, they reimbursed 750 Ethereum. Uh,
Well, that's
yeah,
admirable, I guess you could say. I mean, it sucks that it happens, but at least they're giving out a little something, you know. Probably not.
yeah.
I'm not sure if it covers everything. I doubt it would, but
I mean, they say it's meant to represent the market price at that time.
okay.
But to me, that just means floor price. Well, you never
Yeah.
know. Maybe in 2 years. I mean, Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton have been tweeting about their Bored Apes for a week now.
Yeah.
So it's likely that floor has gone up significantly, right?
I bet. I bet. I think I see. I think I saw. Who's that tennis player again? The big black lady.
Williams?
Yeah, Serena Williams. I think she got a Bored Ape as well.
Okay.
Yeah, or at least that's. I see. I saw an image on Twitter with Serena Williams check marked and talking about a Bored Ape. So
I'd
I'm
love to have
guessing.
a Bored Ape.
Same.
Tilting Shock, Adam has a Bored Ape.
Yes, yes. Various had one, at least I believe. Not sure what happened to that.
So fans and listeners, I guess you might be a listener and not a fan, but if you want to donate either a Bored Ape or enough Ethereum for the podcast to buy a Bored Ape, we will use it to probably only better ourselves and not the podcast, but you never know.
That's right. That's right. I could use one of them.
Yeah. If you got a Bored Ape right now, I'm like not, yeah, let's say you just happened into one. Would you try to flip it immediately? Would you just list it below the floor and try to flip it, or would you hold on to it?
You know, I don't know. I obviously getting the money would be great, but you sort of want to see where that goes, you know? Like I know, I guess I'm just sort of not paper handsy. Like I'm always like, oh, but the potential. Whereas, you know, it sort of sucks because if the potential doesn't go up, if it doesn't go up and it goes down, then you've just lost out, you know. So
you have, but you haven't paid for it necessarily. So you've got a bit of, I might hold on to it for a little while, and then if I saw the floor start to drop, I would probably bail. I'm just trying to look at what the floor price is. I don't even know.
Yeah. That's like the sort of question that like 12-year-olds ask each other like at sleepovers, you know, like what would you do if no, hypothetical situation, you know. I'm glad we're doing this. Like we missed out on the 12-year-old sleepovers, Jason.
That's right. Yeah.
Time to make up for it, you know.
Well, I'm trying to look up what the floor is for the Bored Ape Yacht Club because I want to know, and I haven't checked. So here we go. It's just loading. If OpenSea decides to load, and the answer is 106.9 ETH is the floor.
Jesus Christ.
So 106 times roughly what, 3,000? So yeah, about 318,000 US dollars.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Good for them. I mean, whoever came up with that, obviously it's known who came up with it, but
but we don't know.
But I've never bothered to look.
Same.
Yeah, very cool. Very good for them. That CryptoPunks. It's cool when things take off and get mainstream.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's OpenSea. OpenSea being its regular broken sea self, but at least they're trying to make up for it.
Did I not see something about OpenSea restricting the amount of collections and the amount of NFTs you can create? Did you read that?
Yeah, so they have a free minting option, or I
Mhm.
guess you just pay gas to mint, or maybe it's free. Anyways,
Lazy minting, I think.
yeah. Well, it was being exploited. Basically, people were minting thousands of like bored 8p with 2e's yacht clubs or whatever, and passing them off as, so people were just minting a bunch of fraud and rug pull collections for free.
Right.
So to fix that, OpenSea decided to put a limit of 50 copies, like 50 total mints per collection, or per template, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I guess they got tons of negative feedback from all the people that were using that function legitimately. So they reversed course.
Oh, they reversed it, did they?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. I mean, not that I plan on using OpenSea in that way, but it's good to have the option, you know?
No, I minted something just for fun, just to see how the process worked. Yeah. But I burned the NFTs because they were gross. It was just I screenshotted my vaccination record and created an NFT. And then I was like, this is probably a stupid thing for me to do. So I just burned them all.
So hopefully no one sells it. You get an offer. What would you do if you got an offer on it for 5 ETH?
Oh, if I got an offer on it for 0.05 ETH, I'd sell it. I don't care. My vaccination record is theoretically a public record. Well, maybe not, because it's my private health record. So but it didn't have any of my identification on it. It just literally said the vaccine lot number and the date it was administered. So
okay, fair enough. Edgy. Very edgy.
Yeah, and just awful looking. I'm just not an artistically inclined fella. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have that capacity.
That's okay. I will be your capacity.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You are my capacity. You are the wind beneath my wings.
It's one of the most beautiful things you can say to someone. You are my capacity.
So just like I think we talked about the other day, maybe, that Twitter is rolling out PFP support for NFTs. So is Reddit. Reddit is reportedly testing an NFT profile pic functionality. So
would it be to verify that you have that PFP?
Basically, yeah. Like it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what PFPs are meant to be, right? Proof.
Yeah.
Picture for proof is what it stands for.
All right, I thought it meant profile picture.
I did too, but I was like, when did they stop being called profile pictures or avatars, and why did they become PFP? So I looked it up, and picture for proof.
Okay.
But nothing stops me from. Well, I guess the idea is, you'll have to link your wallet, prove that you have that NFT, and then they'll let you put it as your profile picture.
Yeah, it makes sense, because I feel like, say, if you want to get like board ape follow ape, you know?
Yeah.
Like, are people actually checking your wallet and making sure that you have a board ape before they follow you? Like, I doubt it.
Probably.
So you can just fucking put a board ape on your profile picture and be like, "Hey, part of the family, boy."
Exactly.
And they're like, "All right."
Yeah. So
it sort of makes sense. It's like, I can't be friends with this NFT peasant over here who's pretending to have a board ape. This is royalty, you know? So I sort of dig that.
It's like similar to what we did for heroes and villains. You know, we don't have much of the Discord that's locked behind a gate, but we do have, in order to submit your character lore for that contest we had, you did have to verify that you actually owned the NFT you were writing the lore about. So it does come in handy for certain things.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, so I've got a little bit more NFT news to share. It's been a big week for NFT news. There seems to be more news every week about NFTs than there was the previous week, which is good. Again, it's becoming mainstream. Is this loading for you?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So yeah, surgeon accused of trying to sell NFT of Paris terrorist attack victims X-ray. I've done a stupid thing. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I don't know how you make that mistake.
Hmm. I mean, it's probably illegal,
Oh, for sure.
but it's also probably in very bad and morbid taste.
Yeah, it's
A bit fucked up, I think.
yeah, I mean, taking the NFT out of it, like just sharing your patient's medical records is not allowed, right? If
Yeah,
there's one thing that's not allowed, um,
yeah,
especially amongst Western societies, it's sharing people's medical records.
yeah.
So he tried to sell it for $2,700 and then got caught.
Yeah, well, I guess. I mean, all you'd have to do is be like, who takes care of the X-rays in Paris, such and such hospital, and be like, all right, well, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I don't know. I'm sort of all for. Like, I'm not very judgmental. I would say, like do what you want to do, and just yeah, do what you want to do. Particularly in the name of art, you can do anything really. I'm not sure if I believe that actually. You should be allowed to do shit anyway. And generally, I'm not shocked. And if I am shocked, I find it funny. But this is I don't like it. Don't like it.
I
Fuck
once
this guy.
I once had that argument with a professor about, like, yeah, you get into a slippery slope when you try to define what art is, because art can be anything. But she was trying to show us this installation, which was essentially just like garbage collected from homeless people.
Right.
And I said to her, like, I don't understand. If you want to call it art, that's fine, but I don't understand why you're wasting the class's time on it. Because like, what I think I literally said, if I get a cow, bring it to the top of a building, push it off a building, is the blood splat art? Can I call that dead cow and the blood splat art? Like, I don't know. To me, it's the same thing. It's just collecting. Or if we have a chain of a pretty well-known chain of donut and coffee restaurants in Canada called Tim Hortons, and you will often see, especially in the winter, just public garbage cans overflowing with Tim Hortons coffee cups. And I want to take a picture of it and title it Canadian art. Like, it's tough to say where the line can be drawn, or should the line be drawn.
Yeah, well, the should is the biggest part of the question, I guess. Like, what? Yeah, it's something I still need to wrap my head around, because I think I lean towards the whole art should be something that you practice a lot. It's not just an art comes from an artist. It doesn't come from a homeless person's trash,
right?
That sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know where I stand on it, but I mean, I do stand behind, you should be able to try anything,
sure,
and make it art. And if it works, it works. But if it doesn't, then it's not art. But I guess it's similar to comedy. Like, you should be allowed to make a joke, even if it's offensive. And the test will be if people laugh at it. If people laugh, then it's comedy. But if people don't laugh, then yeah, it's not comedy. That was just. I guess it was just a not nice comment.
Yeah, no, true. That's just it. I often say, like, you can make jokes picking on my religion, my weight, my looks, but they better be funny. Because if they're not funny, then they're offensive. But if they're funny, then they're not really offensive.
Yeah, totally. I feel that as well.
um, yeah, family clarifies no Picasso NFT is set to be sold online. Um, there was apparently a report saying that they wanted to start to sell some of Picasso's work as NFTs. And then there
Right.
was a backlash. And then another part of the family said, no, we're actually not going to be doing that. So it's ripping Picasso's family apart.
That's the drama. God damn.
Drama. But I mean, that brings up another kind of conversation regarding, yeah, old works of art. I mean, can the Louvre, I think it's the Louvre, can the Louvre turn the Mona Lisa into an NFT? Should they?
I, good question. I, I'm not sure. Like, it's sacred. It's sacred to a lot of people. It's not sacred to me. I don't particularly like it, but people like it. So I don't know. Like, whoever owns it is allowed to do whatever the fuck they want with it. I think.
Right.
That's their property. I don't know who owns it though. If it's France who owns it, and I'm not sure if it does, then who decides for France?
Right.
Who decides, Jason?
Macron.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question though. Anyone who owns anything can do whatever the fuck they want with it, basically. That's my
Yeah.
view.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, the Picasso family is certainly at odds about whether they agree with you or not. But
Yeah, I bet.
well, did you want to get into your NFT project of the week?
Yes, sir. All righty, here we go. It's what we've all been waiting for.
Oh, let me make sure I turn your sharing capability on.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
I was checking. I keep checking. Every week I check to see if there's a way I could do it permanently because it feels like there should be. And every week can't find it.
Right. You managed?
Yeah, I think you're good now.
Okay. Oh, we are good. Very good. What am I after now? That's right, Safari. Okay, so my NFT project of the week is something called Handmates, and it looks to be a PFP, except these are not generated. These are hand drawn, I believe, painstakingly and beautifully. And essentially, it's faces, but the faces are comprised of tiny hands, which you can sort of see in this picture. And can I just fucking give a shout out to this beautiful icon? I could not design a logo better than that. It's fucking great.
That is a good icon.
Yeah, it's a good icon, a good logo, I suppose, is what I would say. So, okay, NFT collectibles made by hand, and I'm always trying to fucking make punny jokes about hands now, particularly in the Discord. In fact, I went into the Discord and I was talking to the folk, and I actually found this through that Tiny Familiars Discord that I talked about in the last podcast before last. So the guys who run that were in there, and we talked a bit, and we're talking to Wen Reveal, which is the guy who runs the Handmates, sorry. And I was like, I complimented him or was flattering him, and he gave me like XP points. And I was like, all right, brilliant. So I'll just keep on complimenting him, and I'll get XP points. And I don't know what XP points do, but then I made a hand pun, and he removed my XP points.
Oh,
you cunt. I was heartbroken.
You should get more XP points. Well,
yeah,
you know what? It must not have been a good joke.
Jason, you know me. it was a terrible joke. But anyway, that was an aside. But I mean, check this stuff out. It's brilliant. I love this.
Yeah,
like
that's
this,
really
this
cool
sort
looking.
Of poison ivy sort of feel.
Yeah,
like just all the wee hands.
Yeah,
and like hands are hard things to draw. Like I'm noticing a few. What would you say? A few patterns.
Yeah.
In the hands, like they'll reuse hands. I'm thinking perhaps. Like I think there's a nose hands that they would copy and paste in and change the color, sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I'm not hating on that. I'm just like, Why not reuse the stuff? Like as an artist, I'm like, how do they create this? Like I'm constantly fucking asking myself these sorts of questions. When I see something cool, I'm like, how do they create this? How do they do it efficiently? And I think that's what they do. But I'm seeing patterns in the hands, and so I feel like it's hand drawn and it's tailor made, but it's also let's reuse the shit that we've done. And this is theoretical. Like this is me speculating. I don't know this for sure, but anyway, the artist is very talented. Hands are a very hard thing to draw. Faces as well. I mean, they're not easy to draw. But no, I'm impressed and I love it. And I want to buy in, which is not something I can say for every project.
Right.
This one, there's only 33 released so far.
Okay.
And I think they're aiming for 718. I think. And I don't know when they're going to release more. And I'm always checking the Discord to see if there's any news, and there's never news. And it's the suspense is killing me. But they're not doing any giveaways. They're just doing you get the opportunity for a spot to mint, basically. Right. Which makes it even feel even more exclusive in my eyes. It's like they've got me fucking wrapped around their finger or their hand, so to speak.
So to speak. But
so to speak. Thank you. So that's it really. Handmates.io. You can check it out.
And you should, especially for those of you just listening, make sure to check out handmates.io. It's really intriguing art. Even if you're not in the mood for an NFT, it's really intriguing art. Like, yeah, check out those noses. I didn't even notice at first that the noses were hands.
Yeah. Check the neck, for example. I think they reuse necks. You reuse the hands in the necks, but I'm just laughing at this internally because it looks like they're gently caressing their neck. It's so sensual. So anyway, that's my NFT project. I think it's awesome, and people should buy in for sure. It's a perfect PFP project, like very limited, very exclusive, hand drawn,
handmade.
Yeah. Hey.
Finger. They've got their fingers on the pole. Yeah, I don't know. Something.
That's right. Yeah. Minus 10 XP for you.
That's right. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, that was a cool project. I'm glad you showed it to us. I do have a little bit of some quirky news, and it's not from Britain for the first time in a while, so that's good. And this, similar to the sprinkles story, is not necessarily, it doesn't have a lot of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's quirky. So it does, of course, there's not a lot of gravity to it, right? It's just,
right.
But this is home of off-Broadway's Perfect Crime temporarily closed due to crime. So a play called Perfect Crime had to cancel some performances due to a real crime. Someone stole the copper pipes from the theater's basement.
That doesn't seem like a showstopper,
I agree.
Like, just buy more fucking copper pipe. What's wrong with you? Let's fucking stop the show on an off-Broadway show.
Turned the water on and I realized water was spraying everywhere because there were no pipes to fill the water. I discovered that thieves had taken all the copper pipes.
This guy is definitely not a plumber. That was a very confusing sentence.
Yeah. Would you not notice? I guess not. Anyways, the theater had to cancel about 12 performances between Perfect Crime and another show called The Office, a musical parody. Hello, Doctor. So,
and more cats.
Repairs cost $20,000.
Fucking hell. That's wild. Like copper is expensive, like particularly after COVID.
Yeah.
Like building material prices shot through the roof. If you're trying to cash in some scrap metal just now, you're gonna make a nice chunk of cash. I've actually got like 2 crates worth of copper, and I've got 2 copper like hot water tanks.
Yeah.
That I need to take to the scrappy, and I don't know, decent payday. I think we've also got a ton of lead to come off the roof, and like it's like 6 meters of lead, about 1 meter thick. Like I'm expecting to get $1,000 for that, you know.
Oh wow, good for you.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy stuff.
Speaking of something you just said, my friend clarified what the difference between a boiler and a furnace is for me.
Oh, cool.
And a boiler is specifically for when your heat is fed by water. So if you've got a hot water fed heater, then you have a boiler.
Right.
If you have an air forced heater, then you've got a furnace.
Oh, I see.
So a furnace warms the air and pumps it through. A boiler warms the water and pumps it through.
Right. You know, that's not something we have a lot of over here, is the air source heating. Well, heating and also just air conditioning, basically. Because you can use it both ways, as far as I know. You can remove heat and you can put in heat with the air source stuff.
Right.
And typically we don't need to remove heat in Scotland, you know.
Yes.
Perhaps not in northern Canada either.
You don't get not many places with air conditioners in the city. I think new houses are starting to have them more and more, just because our summers can get quite warm. But yeah, you don't traditionally find air conditioners.
Right. Okay. No, that's interesting to know anyway. Because like I say, it's not a term that we come across here, a furnace.
Yeah.
Unless we're talking to some sort of machinery, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Good to know. I did enjoy that bit of news, actually. You know, there was no water to fill the pipes. And first of all, there's no pipes to fill the water.
Pipes to fill the water.
That's right. Because that's what you do with pipes. No, that's what you do with water. You fill the water with pipes. Am I right?
Sure. I don't know what you're trying to say, but sure.
Yeah, actually, forget about it. There was a joke to be made, but I fucked it up. Hey? God damn.
That's okay. That I'll keep in.
Yes, please do. And anything that embarrasses me, please do.
Well, in continuing this odd trend that we've had lately, another comedian has passed, unfortunately, and that this was a couple weeks ago, even more than that by the time we published this, but Louis Anderson had passed. One of my favorite comedians, and you know, I knew he was a stand-up, but I was more familiar with him for some of his television work. Like he had a cartoon when I was a kid called Life with Louis. And he of course was most recently in Zach Galifianakis's show Baskets, playing Zach Galifianakis's mother, and he won an Emmy for that, and so he had a real career renaissance.
Nice one.
The clip I found is his very first appearance on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show.
Sweet.
And that was back in the day when appearing on Carson could literally change your life. So I'd heard him say in an interview that the day after this appearance on Carson, he was signed to a deal by, I think, NBC, or maybe it was an agency, but in any event, he basically had like a career made for him because of this appearance on the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
So I'm only going to play the first couple jokes because it kind of gets to the crux of the issue, and it is funny. And we will go in 1, 2, 3, 4.
I can't stay long. I'm in between meals, so bear with me.
So long.
I was just at McDonald's and all those statistics just changed.
So that's it. Those two jokes.
All right.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm in between meals, and I was just at McDonald's, and the statistics all change. They're just
pretty good.
They're just perfectly crafted, and that audience response after his "I'm in between meal," like they go crazy. They wanted to carry him out of there on their shoulders. Not that they probably
sure.
could have managed that, but so that's a joke I think he would have liked.
For sure.
He has another joke where he talks about having to go to the hospital and being handed a gown, and he literally just he's like, so they tell me to put this on, and it's a napkin as the bit he's doing, as if, how am I supposed to put this on? So I'm not doing it justice, but yeah, I've been all about Louis Anderson the last couple of weeks because he does some really funny bits.
You know, I was on YouTube earlier today and I was seeing all this Louis Anderson stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, he died like a couple of weeks ago. And then I realized I was on the NFT podcast YouTube channel instead. I was like, I see what Jason's fucking watching now.
Oh yes, that's funny.
Whoops.
Yeah,
I almost felt voyeuristic, you know. I was like, whoops, I shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, I have so many YouTube accounts now that I don't. One of them has YouTube Premium. I don't even know.
Oh, posh cunt, eh?
Right,
oh.
Right. I know.
Right.
It is worth it. I like to have that picture-in-picture, which so when you have YouTube Premium, you can keep playing the video even if you go into a different app or whatever. Yeah. So that's fun. Not that YouTube needs any free advertising on our podcast, but
well, you know, scratch YouTube's back and they will scratch ours.
Hopefully.
Am I right?
Hopefully.
Yeah,
we'll see.
YouTube CEOs, take note.
Yeah, I'm sure you watch. I'm sure they watch everything that's uploaded. So.
Oh yeah, so big fans. Big fans. They're in NFTs. That's why.
Well, there's that news as well. Did we cover that news on the podcast? That
no, I don't think so.
YouTube wants to get into creating NFTs of people's videos and monetizing it for them. So in the same way that you get paid for any ads that show on your screen, theoretically, you would get paid for any NFTs that YouTube made of your product.
I see. I don't see how that would appeal to a market though. Here's an NFT of a video or of a YouTube channel. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
YouTube people are smart. They created YouTube. Therefore, they may have an idea of what they're doing. I just don't get it, you know?
Do you know the guy who invented YouTube, either before or after, I forget the time frame, but he also invented PayPal.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nice one.
So he doesn't work for PayPal or YouTube anymore because he's a multi-billionaire. But yeah, same guy.
He's working on a fucking secret bunker or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Money hoarding. Still, okay, that's impressive. That's the thing. Like successful people just fucking make a success and then move on to the next one. It's Why wouldn't you? I guess what the fuck else is there to do?
It was either sold PayPal for $1 billion, which gave him the money to create YouTube, or sold YouTube for $1 billion, and which gave him the money to create PayPal, whichever order it is. And then sold that one for over $1 billion. So,
jeez,
good for him.
Good shit.
Good for him. All it takes is one idea, and
that's
you're
all
off.
It takes. Just a good idea.
Just one good idea.
No work involved. Just tell someone that good idea.
That's right. That's always
make that happen.
Always make that happen. I'll take a cut.
That's right. That'd be great though. I actually considered that when I was, not for YouTube or PayPal, but me and my buddies, we love doing game jams and making like game concepts and that. And like, we're really good at this. We're just terrible at finishing. So it's like, why don't we make prototypes of games and set up the universe and then just sell it to someone else? Here, you make that. And we'll take a cut, you know?
Yeah.
And we never done that because it turns out like we couldn't even finish prototypes. Like we're just
right.
But I thought it was a cool idea anyway. Well, one of my other possible timelines that never happened.
Right.
You know how it is.
There's a website called funnyorDie.com, which is Will Ferrell's website. And I don't know if you're familiar with that site, but It's like if you've ever seen Between Two Ferns, which is Zach Galifianakis's fake talk show that started on. Anyways, Funny or Die, the basic concept of it, at least when it first started, I don't know if this is still the case, but you would watch a video and you would rate it either funny or die. Those were the two ratings you could give it, funny or die. And then in that way, it sort of calculates what the funniest things are, type of deal. Yeah. Well, I had that idea before that website launched. I thought of an idea where basically you have a crowdsourced website of funny clips, funny skits, funny sketches, funny whatever, and one central location for people to load to upload all of that to, and then the users would vote on it. So yeah, I basically had that same idea, didn't do anything with it, and then a year or two later, Funny or Die came out.
That's annoying, eh?
Yeah.
When you could have done something but you didn't.
Yeah.
God damn it, Jason. You should be famous.
I should have. It could have been the next YouTube. I could have been a contender.
Yeah. Shame.
Well, speaking of funny, I think you've got a funny for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, the setup for this is it's the greatest Jew joke. And because our previous podcast, we cut out the Jew and the Scottish jokes.
That's right.
I was like, all right, I'll try and make this one a bit more acceptable.
It wasn't that I cut it out because of content necessarily. It was just, it ended up being a confusing delivery.
Right. Okay. Well, that's fine.
But I will just say, because it's a Jew joke, it better be funny, otherwise it's offensive. But I see Jerry Seinfeld, so I've got confidence.
Well, not only is he a good comedian, but also a Jew. So this is particularly funny for me because I didn't get the joke to begin with.
Okay.
And I told it to my family, and like my mom's like, "Do you know what a Gentile is, Ross?" And I was like, "It's a Jewish person, right?" And she's like, "No, it's a non-Jewish person." So
that's right.
I didn't get the joke to begin with, and now I get it, and it was funny.
All right. So here is Ross's comedy bit of the week. It is called Greatest Jew Joke, at least according to Jerry Seinfeld. And another appearance by Norm Macdonald. I think that makes 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
Jesus, I should really stop at him, eh? Christ.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So here's the joke. Now, the setup of the joke is it's a Jew joke. Okay. Two Gentile businessmen meet on the street. One of them says, "How's business?" The other one says, "Great." See, he gets it. He really got it. He really liked it.
Right, that's it, basically.
I don't get it.
You don't get it. All right, because, Jews are good at business.
Yeah.
But Gentiles are not. So it was like an unexpected punchline,
Yeah, I got, okay, I'm going to have to listen to that again. I'm sure, because for a minute, I got confused and thought it was two Gentiles, not a Jew and a Gentile. So
it is two Gentiles.
So
okay, well, watch it again, because later on in the video, there's another comedian who I do not know, but he does like 3 of the Gentile jokes. So it turns out that a Gentile joke is like a series, like a collection of jokes that I had no idea. Okay. But anyway, in the rest of the video, there's a few other ones which are equally as funny. It's just like, I don't know. It's I don't get the appeal of it. It's just funny. It's like it's an unexpected punchline almost. It's I don't know.
Well, let us know. Anyway. Let us know at Nearly Fresh on Twitter if you found it funny. If you didn't find it funny, then you can tweet Ross directly at Ross_A_Campbell.
That's right. And let me feel the hate.
That's right. Yeah. Send all complaints to Ross, all compliments to me. Okay, awesome. All right. So, a fair amount of news and quirky stories and comedy bits that we've managed to pack in. And so it's been a fun record. It's been a fun day. I appreciate Ross. I appreciate you as always, being here for the record, and I appreciate all of our listeners and viewers, which are upticking slowly. I know I said a few episodes ago that it's probably not cool to tout your subscriber levels as they go up by one every week, but hey, that's what we've got, right? So yes, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for watching. If you are listening, especially on Apple Podcasts, make sure that you are rating us 5 stars. If you're not on Apple Podcasts, just make sure that you've actually hit the subscribe button. And if you're listening or watching us on YouTube, then do make sure you like the video, do make sure you subscribe. All of that stuff really helps. And if you have any questions, comments, feedback, if you are an expert in any sort of technology, then give us a shout. asknftpod@gmail.com or visit our website at nearlyfreshtopics.com. That is everything for this week. Thanks very much for being here, guys. Have a great day.
All right, fresh out.